of this will affect, okay. And all of these things will affect our responses, the way we respond. So when we have developed habits that we are able then to use, and I will show you all, I'll be sharing a few with you slides a bit further on, then we are able then to cope with these things and learn from them and grow with them. It's important to celebrate our wins and also our imperfections. I don't know about you, but I am not perfect. Some of us would like to think, we are the bee's knees of always. Yeah, I'm right. I'm always right. And that is really the wrong place to be. It's always good to step back, reflect, and at times give the benefit of the doubt in order to have good communication with others. And the beauty of it is when you acknowledge this, you are able then to get back on track much faster. As it says here, it's about how fast you can get back on track. If you keep lost in that loop where you're thinking, I'm right, you're wrong, it's nothing to do with me, you're definitely going to be in the wrong place and not find that peace which we are all seeking instead of having stress, etc., etc. And Les Brown, this is a little quote from Les Brown, which I really love. Forgive yourself first. Release the need to replay a negative situation over and over again in your mind. That's what we call looping. And do not become a hostage to your past by always reviewing and reliving your mistakes. Boy, that is so stressful. It's so heavy. It's like walking along with a backpack on your back full of those big boulders, not even rocks, boulders. And all it does, it keeps your spirit down and you from blossoming into the beautiful soul that you are. Do not remind yourself of what should have, could have, or would have been. Because the only time we have is now, in the very present moment. Release it and let it go. Move on. Moving on is a tonic. And tonics, if they really help to energize us and put us in a better place, it is the better option. Human beings are creatures of habits, and the same way we form, and just if you give it some thought, and negative habits, the same way we have the negative habits, we can learn new ways to improve our state, our mindset. And we feel better, and the people around us as well, they get that positive energy. I put this picture in just to give your mind a couple of seconds to wonder what it might be. And look at that beautiful blue sky there at the top. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I thought the picture was nice. So, I spoil myself. A bit of self-love for me. I shall indulge myself, just the same way I indulge myself with the oath of manifestation. Okay, next one. Right. So let's allow ourselves to get into the present moment. So now I've been speaking for a bit, but I want to bring us into this present moment, and that's what I'm going to do. And what it does, it means that you're letting go of any worries or concerns or anxieties. And
there's a unisex bathroom on the first floor and the ladies on the second, fourth and sixth floors above.
Oh, okay, I'll just read it, it's fine.
Fiona, I'll need to mute you, please.
And so what we're doing here now, we've all been busy all day. We've all been doing different things, and we have different things in our mind. We're thinking about supper and all of these things. But what I'd like you all to do is to allow yourself to get into this present moment, which means letting go of any worries or concerns or anxieties, and you're just putting them on the shelf in your mind. You are worthy. So just do that. And what we're doing is creating a field of possibilities where learning can happen and new connections can be made in your mind. It is all up here. And that will upgrade the way to relate to yourself and others. So what I'm asking right now, please, is to take a deep breath, as deep as you can, right down into so it goes to the bottom of your lungs. And now, when you breathe out, just go. So you're really releasing any concerns and anxieties you have. Another deep breath, as deep as you can get. And another one. Come on, we can do it. Well done. I want you to feel your feet on the ground and bring your conscious attention to your jaw. And just relax your jaw. And straighten your spine, your backbone. And anytime you do this, you bring conscious attention to regulate your body. So it's deep breaths. I think I do it. I repeat it on the next slide. So straightening your backbone allows you to have knowledge and energy move up and down your core more fluidly. So fundamentally, just to recap, you soften your jaw, you relax your shoulders, you straighten your spine or backbone. So it's like the cord through which information flows through your system, and you are in the present moment because your attention is focused on your body. As a result, you relax the network and opens up the vascular expansion, and information can flow. You are taking radical responsibility for your nervous system and the safety in your nervous system, which is key, a key skill, especially around relationships. So now you see, this is really important because this is something that's specific. There are lots of different exercises, and in the past, I've shared different breathing exercises, but this particular exercise seems to have something akin to help with relationships. And self-esteem is believing in your future ability to cope with what reality your life brings to you. So sort of getting yourself in the present moment, having that time for yourself is very important, because when you feel calm and you feel totally at ease with yourself, that radiates out. I mean, if you think about it, sometimes if we get cross about something, we have a very serious face, a very angry face, and other people pick up on those and that, our children, you know, if we were to work with colleagues, etc. So it's very important when we find ourselves in any situation to step back and just recalibrate, get a different frame. And there's a book by Nathaniel Branden, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem. It's a very good book. So if you like reading, or you can perhaps borrow it from the library, it's a good one, you know, to read and get some more tips, etc. And then there is feeling like you deserve to be happy. I wonder how many of you feel that you deserve to be happy. Or do you spend your time thinking, well, I have to keep everybody happy. You know, it's very important. Well done, well done. We deserve, each of us, we are worthy. And we're here on this earth for a reason. We were sent here. And the first love we got to give is to ourselves. We have to feel, and if we feel it, it will be shared then. Next slide. So I have learned that there are many ways to improve and upgrade your self-esteem. The fastest way is to build and practice your self-regulation skills. And that is what I've just shared with you. They're one of many, as I said. When you are regulated, it brings calm, and you're centered, you're ingenious, your intuitive mind opens up, and that radiates out into the space. Because when we are stressed, when we can't relax, we get lost, and we are in that fight, flight, or freeze mode. That shuts down the main part of the brain, and we're not able to think clearly because all the blood goes to this, the amygdala, as it's called, to keep us safe. And that, if we're running from a tiger or a whatever, fantastic. But in the world in which we live, we need to just adjust ourselves so that we can think logically. And our intuition then brings us many of the answers if we would just calm ourselves and listen to it. All good selfing, teaching, and parenting skills, it is down to one phrase: I believe in me, and I believe in you. Always reminding yourself, I am worthy, and I have to believe in myself, believe in what I am capable of, and that I am capable. I have applied myself, and I am worthy. And it's important to create an inventory of awesomeness. Focus on your positive experiences each day. Don't beat yourself up. Oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I still have that to do. Or this or that or the other. It does not help. Love is unconditional, so you start first with yourself. And a great exercise, before you settle down in the evening, is to, even if it's not a lot, but something very strange happens with us human beings, write down the couple of things that have done well, or what you've been so grateful for. And the scientists are learning a lot more now, and it is proven that these things make a difference, and it's said that you get a better night's sleep. I practice it, and I find when I do it, I drop asleep much faster, and I get a better quality of sleep. And it's really worth, instead of beating yourself up for this, that, or the other, be thankful that you've had another day where an opportunity to be the best version of yourself. And if you feel you haven't sort of ticked that box, well, big deal. Tomorrow is another opportunity. Many people try to get love by giving some of their own away. Many people feel in order to be loved, they have to be the one that's sharing the love, and so on and so forth. But you cannot give away that which you don't have. And this is why self-love is important, and why it's the first one on the list, and why it is said it's a cascading effect. Because once you begin from there, and that's the starting point, it will all fall into its natural place. Now, with self-love, the sun is always shining above the clouds. Mm-hmm. It's about clearing the cloud cover. It's about removing the blocks, to remembering why you already are good enough, and coming from that place that lights, undoing what is right. So here again as well, it is to revisit without condemning yourself. It is acceptance is very important, and it's gathering the learning and using that. Any opportunity, anything that happens in any of our lives is an opportunity. It's a gift. It's a lesson, and we can take from it, or we can decide, well, that didn't go right. I wasn't very thoughtful in that moment. And you can apologize to yourself, and choose a different way. If it does not feel comfortable for you, it's more than likely not going to be comfortable for the other person. And many a time we say things or we do things, and we can see the reaction on the recipient's face. And for some of us, I know it happens with me, if I have been a little bit tough with someone, and I see that reaction, I feel quite hurt. I'll give you a little example. When my children were little, I did not like using the word stupid to call stupid, because when I was growing up, it wasn't very nice to be called stupid. And so that I felt I managed to do as a parent. But if I had to get tough with my children, when I say no, I would say to them, what does no mean? No. And whenever they would be a little bit naughty, I had my little wooden spoon in the drawer, and I would just take the drawer and push it in and out. I'll use it if I have to. But I would see their little faces and I felt so guilty. And ironically, now as they're grown-ups and they say to me, you know what, Mum, you were not a tough enough mother. I was just think to myself, that's not fair. Should I have smacked you all or called you stupid or whatever? So I felt, I thought I was doing something lovely, because I don't believe in me as an individual. I don't believe in smacking either. I just believe in having a chat about it, and hopefully the person will, if you do it lovingly, I suppose I live in a bubble of love, but they've turned out good. So that's well, good enough. But I was really shocked when they said to me I was not strict enough or tough enough. But here we are. I lived my journey, and I think fundamentally what I did was treated them the way I would like to be treated, or the way I wanted to be treated, because I had a very strict father, my word. Anyhow, second point, acting is easy. Acting like you should be a better person is easy. Acting in a courteous manner, because it's expected, is easy. Being courteous because it's who you are is the journey of our life. When we do things and we do it from a deeper place, we never feel that something is expected in return. It's the same with love. Love is unconditional. And that's why it's important for us as well to have unconditional love for ourselves, to be, gentle and understanding, because when we feel that, we then have that oozing out of us into the environment, and it creates a better world. And boy, our world at the moment is in need of a lot of this. And what I would like you all to do is to write down an inventory of awesomeness. So the next relationship meeting that we have, you can share it, because each of us have got beautiful qualities. Sometimes it isn't acknowledged. We take it for granted, like we take other people for granted at times. And actually putting things down on paper, and this is another thing that's good to do as well, is writing it out and seeing it in paper and looking at it sometime in the future when you come across it and you look at it and you think, oh, amazing. I did not really notice this before. And it feeds you from inside, and everything happens from the inside out. And it allows you to be kinder to yourself, because you're realizing, you know what, even the smallest of things, it makes a difference. Nothing is too small, nothing is too big to acknowledge. And focus on raising the significance of others from a place of that it's the right thing to do. That is very, very important. It's not just all about me or you as an individual. If we, perhaps you've noticed it, if someone smiles at you, for instance, or if someone holds the door for you, things that we take for granted, or someone offers you a seat on the bus, it is, especially these days, because I don't know what's happened in society, but it's not as kind and generous as it used to be in yesteryear. But it gives you a good feeling. And if you pay attention to the person doing it, if they're doing it from a deeper place, you can see that they're so happy to share. and it doesn't cost anything. Sometimes I know if I'm not going very far on the bus and someone offers me a seat, I just think, especially if they're youngsters, I admire them. And I know I'm not going very far, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, if I refuse them, they'll perhaps feel, I'm not going to do that another time because the stories we tell ourselves. So raising the significance of others from a place that it's the right thing to do to help them as well to feel worthy. We are acknowledging their kindness. And take your attention off what you can get and focus on what you can give. And even this is our relationship with ourselves, with others. And it doesn't cost anything. But you know what? The strangest thing is, in the moment, no money can buy it. It's very precious. It all begins with me or you, the individual. We are the catalyst. It's an inside job, and it radiates out into our environment. And that is what makes the difference. And this is why self-love is the first one on this list. I know, I don't know, now I'm going to wait to have some feedback. I wonder how many of you thought that that could be the first thing that this lady would be talking about in relationships. But if we analyze it in a quiet moment, we see then that, yes, if we love ourselves, then we have got love to share, because we feel we are enough. You don't suffer from low self-esteem and all of these things that you sort of go into your little shell and you're afraid to sort of look a person in the eye or have a conversation or smile. I tend to smile quite a lot, and I just think to myself, if I see a person and our eyes make four, what do? You just smile. And I've got a little area where I'm in contact with youngsters, especially young men. And I just love it when I relate with them. Some of them are surprised. And I think, okay, but I treat them as if they're my sons. And I can see the beauty in their appreciation to be treated kindly by a stranger. And it's one of my little gifts, giving it back into the world. It may not sound a lot, but you see these steps here, it's very important for us to keep moving up, elevating ourselves, sharing, giving, being part. And you don't have to think about it as money. Money is important, is a means of exchange. But the things that money cannot buy is making that contact with ourselves and the contact and the relationship we have with others. And at this point, I'm going to stop, ask if there are any questions, and then I can move on further. What time is it? It's 43, so it's about the right time. Okay, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to ask you questions.
Stop!
Oh, somebody's...
Sorry, Vida, what did you say?
Oh, did you ask? No,
Fiona, you've got your hand up.
I'm opening the floor. I would like questions. And the first one I'm going to ask is, who here thought that a little having this meeting of a relationship, that you would think that relationship to yourself would be the first thing to be discussed?
Hi, Vida. My name's Fiona. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. In relation to your question you just asked now, that was very good. I didn't think about the type of relationship that I have with myself. I didn't think of that. I always think of relationship with others, not with me.
Yes.
So it's good to know that, you start with yourself. But also my question, the reason for raising my hand is, say like you have negative thoughts that swirl around your mind, and you can be thinking positively, and all of a sudden something pops into your head.
Mhm.
How would you best address that? What would you think? How do you deal with those for yourself?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, thank you for being brave and asking the question. It's a very good question. And remembering that we are, as human beings, we are creatures of habit. And what has happened over time, these habits have become the norm. And what I know from my learnings, the thing to do, and there will be times that you will perhaps fall short. But here again, self-love comes in. So you'll be gentle with yourself. You know what? I'm human, but I am doing something about this. It's my choice. And the exercise that I had there earlier on the slide is one thing you can do. But the whole thing is to stop. It begins to be a looping action. So I can share the slides with you, so you will have that one. But I will just share something else. So wherever that has caught you, move away from that area. So even if you're at home in one room, change room, go somewhere else, look out at the window or at a tree, or just look at something else, something that's perhaps choose something that's a little bit more calming, something with nature. If you can, if you're take your shoes off and feel your feet on the ground, connect with Mother Earth. And just even putting two fingers together. But before you do that, breathe. Let yourself notice yourself taking the breath in. Feel the temperature of the air. Now, the breathing here that I've got in this exercise is different, but what I'll ask you to do in situations like this, and for everybody else, is after you've had that breath in, purse your lips as if you're drinking through a straw, and blow it out nice and long as you can. Blow it out. And do it again. And if you close your eyes as well in those moments, it's very good, because what it stops is the distraction of wherever you are. And if you don't feel like breathing, because it depends on what frame of mind you're in, just closing your eyes in the first instance is a big positive help. And you can do those breaths, 3 or 4 of those, and just closing your eyes, taking the breaths, breathing out that way. Your focus changes, because that loop, you have brought yourself back into your body. And that is something that is well practiced. What you can do as well with the breath is, I breathe in calm, I breathe out stress. Whatever is worrying you, you can say the opposite of it. I breathe in peace. Sometimes if I have got a lot on my mind, or I've got something happening that's really important the next day, I find it difficult to drop asleep at times like that, because I'm so focused on that. And what I do then is I breathe in sleep, I breathe out anxiety. So those are the things that I do. And if it's during the day and you can go out, not now, it's too cold, but you can walk, and you can walk in the grass, that helps as well. Reconnecting with Mother Earth, reconnecting with nature is one of the most beautiful gifts that we have. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I endorse
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Okay. And there are lots of different things one can do, but we all have to start somewhere, and that's a good enough start. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I'm listening. I think someone put their hand up, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear us now, Vida?
I hear you now, yes?
Okay, so Jay would like to ask a question.
So
Please.
Vida, what happens when you can't sleep at night time, like morning time, like early in the morning?
Well, fundamentally, sometimes it's habit. Because we can get into a pattern, but don't get up and do any cleaning or ironing or anything like that. It's not a very good thing to do, because some people think, if they do the chore, that will be, but then you get into another habit. So it is about calming the mind. Sometimes when that has happened to me, and it is something I've noticed with myself, I think it's with age, some of us don't seem to need as much sleep as we did when we were younger. But what is important to do is to start observing why it might be happening with you, because we are all individuals and your situation would be individual. There isn't sort of an overall answer to this question. It will be focusing on your situation and understanding why. At this point in time, do you have any idea if you're worried about something, or if you're just uncomfortable in bed, or if it's the full moon or whatever? Because sometimes the moon affects our sleep, I've noticed.
Hmm.
Do you have any particular, perhaps? Okay. Are you going to? Okay, so I'll try to answer it. What I would suggest you do is get out of the bed, go to have a sip of something non-alcoholic, sorry, drink, and go to the toilet, relieve yourself, and then get back into bed. Just have a little chat with yourself and say, because self-talk is very important, and it's good to keep it positive. And I am here in my bed. I'm here to sleep, and just do the breathing exercise that I just shared. Do it 3, 4, 5 times. And I breathe in sleep. I breathe out anxiety, or I breathe in sleep. I breathe out tiredness. And you will find it'll take a little time. Everything takes time, because the habits have built up over a period of time, and it is possible to change those habits. The neurons in the brain, if you make that concerted decision to do something else, preferably that's good, you're looking for something possible, it is scientifically proved that after a while, your subconscious mind says, oh, okay, well, she's not using me anymore. She's doing something different. And that will become the new pattern. But remember the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. It will take time, patience. But who are you doing it for? You are doing it for yourself. Who is worthy? You are worthy. And accept. It took time for those habits, but it'll take me a little time. But you know what? I am keeping on that road. That light is lighting up my pathway to do something different. And that is the way to do it. And I hope with all my heart that you try it, you persevere, and it will be lovely if you persevere and it happens and you are able to share that.
Okay.
And about these habits, our subconscious mind is 95%. Our conscious mind is only 5%. And it is there to protect us. And anytime we start doing something different or new, it says, oh, okay. And it'll come up with reasons why you shouldn't be doing it, because it wants to keep you in that slot. But if you know that what you have been doing is not positive, it's not serving you, and you've decided, you know what, I'm moving on. You make that choice, write it down. I'm telling you, write it down, put it on your fridge, write a few copies. And every time you see it, just speak it out, say it out, and be always kind with yourself, because the universe is always listening. And whatever you are looking for, whatever your new plan wants to be, because nothing has worked before, so you're going to try something different. You speak out, speak it out. The universe is there.
Yeah.
And it reverberates. And that is why I believe in you. Well, obviously you'll say, I believe in me.
Yeah.
And that is already one very good way of starting this process. I want this, not I might, or maybe, or who knows, perhaps. No, be positive. You know the changes that you wish to make. It is possible. Anything is possible to a willing heart. And if the things haven't been working for you previously, you have made the decision and you take it from there. You be the light, you be the guiding light. Questions?
Beautiful way to end the session, Vida. That was absolutely beautiful. Well said. Just to say that we have more or less come to the end of our session, but if someone wanted to ask a quick question, I believe there's a comment that just came up on the group for you from Claudette. This is an interesting topic. I can't see it. Caroline, you might be able to see it. I've lost control.
I can see it. I've just clicked on. This is an interesting topic and presentation, but I have to go now. Bless you, Claudette. Thank you for staying. Hopefully, I will be able to join in the next session. Many thanks to Vida and those who have organized this program. That's very kind. Thank you very much.